All right, and then a quick review on compression. Let's see if that worked. I just wanted to loop right. I'm not really worried about making the beat. I just want to have some sounds and see how now the compression is going to affect this. Maybe I didn't pick the best sound. Let me just mute this other one then. See if I can find something else for you. That should do the trick. Alright, so let's leave the 808 where it is. We're going to let that go on its own separate track. The pad and these keys will be routed back to my melody bus. Okay, so output, output, input, melody. All right. So when it comes to the compression, you know, I always just say, you know, things like glue. I'm always using the word glue, and that's basically what I'm trying to describe the best. If I take out this 808, I mean, you might be able to hear it a little better. It's really just finding those high parts and leveling out everything. So this is your input. Your input will be your threshold, this yellow knob and this input. It's the same thing. So if you move this cursor here, you're moving your threshold. You're controlling what's coming in. That sound that comes in will be controlled by your threshold. So let's say you want to just slam that threshold, so you'll notice this line here is your gain reduction. And this is preference. If you want your gain reduction to hit close to 12, minus 12, then go ahead. When I do mine, I usually keep it between 3 and 6, and it depends on the sound, but 3 and 6 is usually the sweet spot for me. But if there's an effect or some sort of texture or feel that you're trying to create with your beats, do whatever you want. So I'm going to just use an extreme example. So you notice when you mute one of the sounds, the compressor reacts differently, because there's less sound coming in for it to react to. Let's filter out some low end on that sample. Right? So let's and then you'll notice your output is super low because you're getting the sound, you're squishing the sound with the compressor. Alright, you're getting that gain reduction really deep, minus 18. But let's say you just like the sound but you can't hear it. So you're not gonna go here and crank it. You wanna leave that at 0. What you're gonna do is go to your gain. That's output gain, is also called makeup gain, depending on the compressor you're using. Now, in most instances, you're not going to put yourself in a situation where you're going to reduce it so much that you have to crank it so much to get your out and your in to balance. But that's what you want to achieve. You don't want to lose anything either when you're doing this. So if you're squishing the hell out of your samples, just give it that makeup gain, boost it out. To get everything to sit nice. And then, because you have two sounds playing at the same time, there could be frequencies that are just coming through together. So right there, that particular frequency for me is not working. I want to scoop that out. That high pitch resonance that's coming in, that howling, that whistling. It's there. Even though you don't hear it, it's there. So I'm going to just scoop it out. -3 always does the job. And you might just want to do that, you know, find something in your mid, you don't have to go crazy, just a little something or in your mid range around the 500 mark, a little something around between 1 and 5, and then something else between 1 and 10. And just do it by ear. But if you have something like FabFilter, where you can actually see the frequencies, that, you know, that helps. Let's go to my drums. This bass should be down here. Let's put that in my bass track. So let's say it's time I'm mixing to, let's say I want to mix the drums, right? Alright, so my outputs are now and if in Pro Tools you ever have trouble looking at the sine waves, you can hit this button here and just make everything stand out. See that? That's not affecting the sound, it's just the visual. My hi-hat didn't come through. Oh, I screwed that up. Let's try that one more time. I actually ended up recording the hat and the snare on the same track by accident. Okay, let's pretend that was the whole beat. So I have my drums mixed here on this drum bus. Okay, now because they're good quality sounds, you know, that Decap 808 and these kick and snare sounds come from a pack that I know are good. I don't spend the time EQing and compressing every single sound. If you're approaching a song that's analog and you're recording the drums live and things like that, I would say take the time to clean up every single sound, because miking those instruments is no easy task. But when we're doing production in the box, everything's digital and you're getting good quality stuff, whether it's a Decap or, you know, Illmind, whatever sample packs you tend to download. Hopefully they're good quality stuff, and you don't have to necessarily pinpoint everything unless you want to. You know, at that point it's just preference. So in this video, you're seeing that these sounds are good. The samples are from Splice, everything is good. So in this drum bus, I got the bass line, the kick, the snare. So again, we're just gonna compress. So this will help me achieve a nice balanced sound from my drum section. So the 808, the kick, and the snare find a home. Nothing's competing with each other. You know, so I'll drop the 808 at about 6. Just to make room for my kick to come through. You'll see the compressors working a lot. Too much for my, for my taste. I'm just shaving off some distortion on that 808, and I know I keep repeating myself, but this is all just preference. It depends on how you want the sound to be. I'm not saying this is what you have to do. And that is it. Loudness. On here you'll find a limiter and the loudness meter. Once you're happy with how everything is balanced and how everything is hitting, as long as you get that check mark for that 14, you're good to go. This I have in this preset of mine where it says my Spice Master Startup. I did this, I set this up so it's optimized for Spotify. And if you keep that at -14, you're always going to have your loudness consistently, no matter what sound you're using, so no matter what beat you're making, whether it's boom bap or trap, it's all going to give you that same level of loudness, of how it feels. The loudness of how it feels is important too, not just how it sounds. In the compressor also, we'll have presets for snares and kicks. So you can always mess around with that. Use that preset as a starting point and then just adjust as you need your attack and your gain. Before I let you go, make sure you understand your attack will be how fast your compressor reacts to stuff. The faster the attack, the quicker the response. Let's also talk about your release. Your release is going to be how your compressor is going to react to stuff after the attack. So first is your attack, then it's your release. So that release is how your compressor is going to bounce back from that sound. A good example would be to use that on your kicks. I'll show you what I mean and then we'll wrap this up. Alright, so the attack is set to 10. Let's do an even 2. Now you see that? So if we were to flip the attack this way, maybe I should solo this so you can hear it better. Right? So what you're listening for is the punchiness of the sound. And then listen to how the release changes it. And when you change your release, you'll notice how the gain reduction meter also changes. The bounce back is a lot slower. It'll drag back. So that fast release, notice it just bounces right back. It recoups a lot quicker. So if you're looking to achieve a much punchier kick, this is how you would have it. But if you're looking for something a little thicker, where you want the compressor to kind of just catch, not necessarily the very beginning of the kick, but maybe towards the end to kind of carry it out a little, get some of that thickness out towards the end, then you would do the opposite. Alright guys, so I hope this helps. It'll probably be easier to download the template if you want to go back and revisit this video. I have everything already grouped and set up for you. It'll save you a bunch of time. You know, just balance everything and you'll be good to go. Alright, I hope you found this helpful. Peace.